Welcome to the People's Guild.
Each week we explore the Splinterland universe with guests from all across the mythical land of Praetoria.
Join us on our journey as we discuss the evolution of the game, the strategy, the lore, and the exciting path that lies ahead.
To support the People's Guild, make sure you subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts, and also check us out on PeakD, YouTube, and Twitter.
To send your questions, suggestions, and epic battles in our comments through Twitter or email at thepeoplesguildspl@gmail.com. We'll feature the best in our episodes and maybe airdrop you some prizes.
Thanks for tuning in and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the People's Guild. Another week, another episode. We got a big one. This has been 3+ years in the making. This is our 150th episode. Hard to believe that we have, the People's Guild has gone through a couple of iterations. We've grown in all sorts of different ways, and we're still here. We're still loving the game. We're still having a great time with all the awesome community members, and we have, I guess, partnered up with Team Possible for this one. We got a slew of 8 folks on the show today. Let's go around the horn and welcome everybody one by one. We got Jimmy holding it down in the co-host saddle. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Hey, very, very good to see you. Happy to be here.
We got Keegs tuning in from Mordor. What's up, Keegs?
Yo, how's it going?
Call him by his real name.
Oh, Rick Loneman.
Rick Loneman. Bam. Rick Loneman.
Paul TRX, first time guest, man. It's about time. We've invited you in the past, but it took a special Team Possible collab to get you on board, man. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, man. Honored to be here.
Blaze coming in from the Island Boy. What's up, dude? Appreciate you hanging out.
Thanks for having me. In the wee hour of the morning.
What time is it over there?
It's 12 a.m.
Perfect. That's just getting started, my time. I like that.
We got Greasy Dave back for another episode. Thanks for always coming on, Dave.
Happy to be here. Not sure I like the Greasy Dave name, though.
Well, and stop making things work so well. Nothing we can do about that. I mean, jeez.
You guys are going to make me shave my head. People are going to think that you mean I had greasy hair, so I'm going to have to shave my head pretty soon.
Hey, man, by the looks of this cameras, we got a couple of hippies, so you're probably in good company there, Dave. So it's all good. Gathering, welcome back to the show, dude. Always good to hang out.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury digital rectangles. Thanks for having me for 150. Excited to be here.
There it is. And last but certainly not least, we got the one and the only Mr. Gator, the Harry Bucket himself. What's up, dude?
Good evening, or whatever time zone it is, but evening here anyways.
Awesome. Well, it should be fun. We might have a couple of other folks pop on. I'll certainly pause things to welcome them in if and when they do turn up. But I wanted to kind of kick things off with a little bit of a retrospective. Thinking back, we all came in to Splinterlands various times throughout the last 7.5 years, I guess, at this point. And I was kind of thinking about my early couple of months hopping into Splinterlands and starting to dip my toes into the community. I wanted to kind of see who wants or who is keen to share, kind of one of their earliest memories of, wow, this is something I really want to sink my teeth into. This is something that I really want to be a part of. I'm super excited to be here. Feel free, anybody, to grab the mic and run with it. I'd love to go around the horn and get a couple of insights there.
I started originally in crypto with TRX and Tron, couple failed games on there, and then the Sesame Seed promotion, which I think is still great promotions for Splinterlands with cross-chain promotions, but Sesame Seed promotion got me into playing Splinterlands. Never thought I'd ever play a TCG. First time I've ever played one, actually. It's the only one I've actually ever played. and got in there, got the packs, got a bunch of cards, started trading a bunch of gold foils for regular foils. That's how I got into the Team Possible. Met BU and Dave and was trading some cards with them. Joined the guild. Played a couple matches, and it's inevitable. You start losing to certain cards. You go buy those cards. I mean, there's nothing else you can do. You could rent them, I suppose, but I ultimately would rather own them than rent them. So basically did that for a while and then just snowballed from there. And it's been a blast ever since. It's awesome. April 2019 is whenever I joined, middle of beta.
Middle of beta. Nice.
Yep.
Keegs, you had something to share there, Keegs?
Yeah, I was gonna say for me, like I was just kind of like dabbling, you know, I had some like low level, like maybe bronze like cards or decks. And then Lux Vega was actually what got me to like really jump in a lot further. I was like, okay, actually now, you know, like it's a big climb to ask for all the summoners back then, but you know, Lux is just like just open the doors, like I can play all the splinters. I think I got the Lux and the Quicks, and yeah, that was me in. Yeah, I love Lux. Such a good card.
I just saw somebody posting in Tavern that they snagged a Lux for $99. What a freaking steal, man. Yeah, Lux is still great.
I bought a Lux 2 days ago.
Did you pay that price?
The last 2 weeks, it's been under $100.
It's like my ninth one that I have. It was $99 the one I bought.
Damn.
And so walkers, definitely been eyeing up some of those like $50, $60 walkers too.
$60 walkers.
That's crazy. That's just crazy.
Well, I got into the Market Watch every Sunday, and you can get the latest on all the card prices from every set.
What time on Sunday would that be?
Whenever I feel like uploading it. It usually takes me a couple hours, so it's usually Sunday afternoons Eastern time. About 5 or 6, I usually get parts 1 and 2 posted. So part 1 is just kind of an overview of all the assets and cards and pack prices and how everything's going. And then part 2 is just the deep dive where I go into the entire market set by set. And now with the new reward cards that are out and all the new foil types, it's taking longer and longer. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to go through it. So yeah, if you tune in, you can kind of get my scoop on where prices are at and where I think prices are, you know, good deals, or, you know, hey guys, I think you need to jump on this right now. Somebody might have listed this a little too cheap, or, you know, this might be a little too expensive. You know, make sure that you're not paying full price for a card if it's only a single copy, not a max copy. So just make sure you're paying attention when you're checking out the market.
So Saturday night is the time to poke around and find the deals before they're made public.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm getting there.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, I did buy a Prince Julian the other day for $4.99.
Yep, $4.99.
Yeah, I saw that on there. I've been watching. Almost bought one at 600 a few times. I'm like, I'm gonna hang out, and I finally did it. Call me crazy.
But yeah, it was trending down, so I was wondering how low it would go before someone snagged it.
Yeah, well, there's your answer.
Yep.
$4.99. Yeah, it's a steal.
$4.99. 83 in the game, baby. Yeah.
We're gonna look back a few years at prices where they are and be like, I cannot believe how cheap cards used to be. Even like Chaos Legion cards, everyone's like, oh, they're not worth anything. They're so mass overproduced. Once you start getting 10, 20, 30,000 players or more into the game and more game modes, and it's like, hey, they're, you know, modern packs are sold out. Well, maybe I'll go play in Wild. Okay, what's Wild? Oh, there's Chaos Legion, and Chaos Legion starts getting bought up. You can be surprised how quickly things can turn around. You know, I saw it with Magic the Gathering back in the mid 90s. Their first main set revised came out, and that was everywhere. And people were like, this is never going to be worth anything. It's so mass produced. And, you know, it took a while. It took a few years, but now those cards, those packs are worth like hundreds of dollars. So, you know, this game's not going anywhere. So, you know, 5-10 years down the road is going to be really exciting when we can all sit around in episode 1000 of the People's Guild and say, yeah, remember back when bought a Lux Vega for $100, and be like, what? You got that under 4 figures? Really?
Yeah, that'll be the day.
Yep.
Blaze.
And I will push back and say that we are going somewhere. We're going onward and upward, baby. That's where this game's going. All signs point in that direction.
Bam.
Yeah, no, you know, we have a wide range of audience we're catering to, and Jangles, you know how it goes, man. You DM me, you tell me about this card that you want, and all of a sudden I go and
Tag
stake
me in
some
tavern, say neater,
Seafrom
neater.
land and go and yeah, I go scoop them up. But it's such a good vibe. Like, and also listening to like I think I don't know, it was Brunch Dragon or something talking about the card values going down instead of going up, the older cards. And like a lot of us were just like we're tied up with other projects and things like that. And then we circle back and we actually look at the prices. And as soon as we buy one, we see another opportunity. Was it Vladimir? Is that his name? The
Valnamore.
Valinor,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Valinor. I scooped him up. I picked up Play-Doh. I teased a little bit in the chat, and then all of a sudden somebody else comes, right, and follows. I think Paul TRX, you talked about Lux, and I think somebody soon after bought the other one that was under 100. So it's that thing. Collecting is huge. I'm a huge collector. I got in. I was tossing around dozens of projects, but I think during the time of Splinterlands, I was on wax and I was into Alien Worlds. I was collecting, I think, MLB and then Garbage Pail Kids at the time. And then I saw the land flash on there for sale. So I think I scooped up some land. Um, and then when I came in game, I grabbed an Ulrich. I was never a huge TCG player, but then I grabbed an Ulrich, and then I really liked the magic. The magic was really strong back then. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But I was juggling around multiple projects, and with time, I just started taking profits from Alien Worlds, moving it into Splinterlands, taking profits from Terra Luna, moving it into Splinterlands. And then I found this trend. I was like, I like this. I can collect this. This stuff's cool. Plus the vision of like DeFi and collectibles. That's my area, right? That's what I like. And having the combo of both is just something really cool and special. And that's the one thing that Splinterlands has that these other games don't have. We have a lot of depth to our game, and look at the collectibles. We have collectibles since 2018. How many other crypto projects can say that? Not a lot. So not only that, they have utility. They're fun to play with still to this date, all these years later, and you can use them in land. So I like this game from many angles, but collector is number one on my list. I mean, that's what I love doing, and now I'm scooping up deals as I see them. So
You're absolutely right. It's so contagious, man. Shout out to Dandelion. I was just looking in Tavern to see when the last post was. 15 minutes ago, Dandelion just posted he bought a Max Spirit Miner. And he was one of the ones that kind of like chimed in after, Blaze tagged me, and then I added on, and then more folks started piling on, and Dandelion was just like, "Oh man, you guys are picking up all the cards that I was eyeing." So he's trying to run the curve here, which is fun. And quick update on Prince Julian. There are zero more on the market. So Jimmy, you picked up at a good time. The other one got swooped up right after you. Dave or Gator?
Jingles, really quick, just to add on to Gathering there with his analogy of Chaos Legion. How many people have the complete gold set of Chaos Legion, right? There's not a lot of gold foils circulating, right? There is, but it's who has the complete set. So that's going to be some fun stuff to track, to go start looking at collections and who's got maxed collections. So that's something for us to do in the near future. But yeah, I'm a huge fan. Or even Beaker's doing a good job of all this data gathering. Maybe we can work with him until then. But really cool. Like it's over printed, but yet not a lot of people have the whole set maxed out in the gold foils.
Yeah, and we've heard it a million times. Like it only takes a small handful of new folks coming in. There was somebody that I think it's a brand new player, Colonzo or something, has been posted in Tavern, and you saw that addiction just literally catch fire. Like this game is amazing, and sharing all this stuff that he's picking up, and we get a handful of players like that, and things, it ignites in a hurry. Sorry to cut you off, Gathering. Go ahead, man.
Oh, I was just going to say real quick that, having like certain sets of cards, that might be something for a future achievement system. Have one of each Chaos Legion card, have one of each Riftwatcher card, for like a title or achievement, something like that. Because I'm excited with the avatar system coming out, but the next thing I think is going to be like some sort of achievements in game, or that kind of thing. Because that's what players, especially collectors, strive for. They want to get one of each of a certain foil, have one of each gold card, one of each black foil, that type of thing. So if they could tie that into like an achievement system, that would be kind of cool.
And that's in the works, right? I mean, I personally collected the black or the Buttercup Mauler rainbow, right? So I have every card of Buttercup Mauler, and it's fun. It's fun. So Dave and I have been brainstorming ideas on what we can do, but yeah, we're going there. That's for sure.
Yeah, over to the other founding member and only other member of the Buttercup gang, Dave. Was there a particular moment in time that kind of sparked that? Obviously you're passionate and you're constantly inspired with new stuff to bring to the game, and your role has slowly and then all of a sudden transitioned over the years with respect to your involvement with the community and the team. And what was there a singular moment that kind of sparked this? I mean, I think it's safe to say lifelong love for Splinterlands at this point.
Yeah, it didn't start out as a lifelong thing. What happened was I got involved in Steam because I was bored between Thanksgiving and Christmas back in 2018. Didn't have, at that time the market's kind of, settled down. Not too many people want to talk about business. So I just started thinking around and looking at cryptocurrencies, and I saw a thing about Steam, and so I got involved with them. And then all of a sudden, Matt and Aggie put together a game called Steam Monsters, and uh, they were like, this could be fun, and people like BU and Simply Mike and people like that were bringing it to me and saying, hey, this should be a cool thing. And I had never done it. Just like Paul, I had never played a trading card game. I actually had some Magic the Gathering cards just because I was a sports card collector. So I bought them just for the hell of it and just kept them and never played with them. But um, all of a sudden this game came out, and I watched the evolution from a point where we were literally just an idea. They just said, hey, we're going to make this game, and started selling packs. And in packs, there were just cards with pictures. There was not even any stats. So we didn't know what range or uh, melee or magic was for the people that weren't trading card gamers. So I watched it grow from where it was then, with no markets, no rentals, no multiple modes, no modern, no no human, no or bot, or any of the dynamics that we have today to what it is. So over the course of 7 years, it's been a huge progression. The community's at times salty. But having said that, there's also guys, like you, like everybody on this call, and people that go all the way back to the beginning that are still here. So I think that's one of the things that separates Splinterlands from everywhere else, is we actually have a very deep community that sticks around and looks at the big picture. So I feel happy to be part of it, and was happy when I was a player, and now happy that I'm on the team member and still a player. So that's it.
Hell yeah. Over to you, Mr. Gator.
So I came in around the Untamed, Tail End of Untamed, with a history of having played Magic the Gathering. So I think, like a lot of people, with a previous collectible card game experience, coming into this was fairly similar. The kind of Wizards official ones had gone away from ownership. They had shut down the one where you supposedly owned your cards and could sell them, and all those went away. And living in an area where not really a lot of in-person Magic anymore. So that's kind of how I ended up getting into Splinterlands. Funny thing is, I saw it around, I think, beta. I was like, I've already played a bunch of other online games. But apparently that was the time I should have come in, because then I would have had a nice beta set of cards. So I have to buy them now for land for much higher prices back then. But
You bring up an interesting point, Gator, and we've heard, I know Bronze Dragon, we got a handful of big prominent community members that came from, historically a Magic the Gathering background, and that point where I think they sold to Hasbro, I think is the official ownership company at this point. That was a major turning point for a lot of these folks, and it makes me think and reflect on Splinterlands, and if we have to kind of sum up Splinterlands throughout those 7 years, like Dave, you just pointed out, the evolution has been it's a complete revolution. Like it started as just NFT picture cards, and now it's not only is it TCG, it's also land and DeFi, and there's the economic elements. There's just a million different things to do. But throughout all of that, I think with the perspective of Magic the Gathering kind of, quote unquote, selling out, Splinterlands has managed to maintain its integrity. And I think that's such an important word, especially in the crypto space. And I think it sets us up for such a big, we look back, and this is something I want to jump into here, kind of next gear of conversation. It sets us up for such a big future. Is we have like this ecosystem, this community, this game, the company has such good bones, and never ever has there been legitimate claims or thoughts that Splinterlands is going to rug or Splinterlands is going to pull the plug, and so the integrity, I think, is such a big piece. So I want to kind of let's look at just the last year. And, Dave, you and I were talking the other day, and you've only been here for 7 months. It doesn't, I can imagine for you and for many of us, it doesn't really feel like it's only been 7 months, but holy shit, man. Like the amount of stuff that the team has churned out this year. I want to kind of pick out, I realize I'm asking you guys maybe to play favorites, and it's probably not fair, but as a whole, I think all of the changes that have occurred over the last, let's call it, since the start of the year, have been big and meaningful and impactful, and pieces to a puzzle. But I think to each and every one of us, there's probably one element that has been introduced or changed or updated or brought to life that is more meaningful than others on a personal level. Is there one thing? Well, let's start with you, Davis. Is there one thing that personally is you're really happy to hang your hat on and see the team bring to life for the game, for the community?
Yeah, but I would rather, can I go last? Only because
Yeah,
I don't want to give the answers, at least from my standpoint, and then have to have other people chime in. I'd rather hear what you guys think.
sure.
My
Okay.
guess, basic mode for Dave. Basic mode is his
That's true.
crown jewel. Bam.
Well, why don't you kick us off, Jimmy?
I would say
what's
basic mode. No.
Yeah.
No, there's so many things. So many things. We're just moving in the right direction. They've always used the analogy of like fixing a train while it's on the tracks, or an airplane while it's flying through the universe here. But that's what's going on. That's what we're doing, and we just see sign after sign after sign of moving in the correct direction. Fixing past mistakes, identifying things that are broken, and fixing it and moving forward. Introducing the different modes is huge. We tried survival mode. It didn't work that great. It had a lot of problems. We're fixing it, and we're going to try to launch it again. If it's done correctly, that could be an amazing mode to play that people get engaged in. We have frontier mode, which is also awesome. That's huge. It's a whole free-to-play version that's separate from the game, but a bridge to the real game. And I mean, what the goal was by the end of the year to have more people playing that mode than the standard mode, and it happened within 2 weeks. Yeah, there's just so many things. Again, I could ramble for hours about that, but I think all the different modes, all the just different ways we're progressing in the gameplay, for me is huge, because when it comes down to it, the game is the most important thing. That's the heart and soul of everything. That was the first thing, and it's what everything revolves around. And with the incredible popularity of, video games, and like, as Twitch takes more and more bandwidth in the interwebs, and more people watch video games, and more streamers come into being, I think that whole, TCG and e-tournaments, esports, I guess is the word I'm looking for, is a huge just world waiting for us to embrace. And I really think we could crush the esports world when we get everything, all our ducks in a row, and really lined up.
Bam.
Bam. I see it happening too. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, they're baby steps, but it's happening. And a lot of times you just have to, there's trial and error involved when you're pioneering things like this. You have to try something, see if it works. If it doesn't work, fix it. And that's what we're doing. In the past, I think things have been slow, which might have, frustrated many players over time. But we've got some really good minds working on things and trying things out, and a lot of great community members helping, behind the scenes, such as yourself, Jangles, and all these other testers. And it just seems like everything's just the foundation right now, and over the past year or two has been fortified and made more solid than ever, both on the team level and on the community level. And we're just getting ready to, level up and build on top of that.
You kind of cheated with that answer, Jimmy, but it was great.
What do you mean? I didn't use a bot. What are you talking about?
Somebody else have a different opinion? Than I think Frontier mode, it does represent a huge precedence, and I think the model that was presented and so successfully rolled out, I think, for me anyway, I agree with Jimmy. I think Frontier mode, basic mode, was really, the major kindling that we needed to kind of prove a lot of the other stuff that we're starting to see pop up. But anybody else want to chime in and offer a different opinion?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's I've been on the team for just over a year now, and coming in, my main concern was the foundation, right? The foundation of the game, and how we can build this into the best game to ever exist. And in order to do that on the blockchain, it takes a lot of work and a lot of devs to put in the work. But what I like best about it is the balance, but with the solid foundation, right? So like, we have the free to play now. We have the items for the collectors. We came out with the skins recently. And all of that is needed in order to have a solid system for the tokenomics, right? We needed to expand on those areas so we can have a well-rounded game. But at the end of the day, it's the entertainment side that I think that's going to stand out. Our game is really fun to play, right? And even with like Weirdbeard, I think he was just a little too early, right? His imagination was great where he wanted to go with the esports, but I just don't think our game was ready. And now we're starting to see it, right? I mean, the graphics are better, the backgrounds are cooler, and then we're going to start leaning into that hard, and we're going to be able to be proud of our game circulating the internet, right? And seeing the battles and things like that from our streamers and content creators and such. So having that part to a point where I feel good about it and the community feels good about it is super important, because we need that side in order to take care of tokenomics and adding value to SPS. Why would the price of SPS go up if we don't have a cool game, right? We need to like build the solid foundation first, and I think that's what we've done over the past year. Especially when Dave came in, he really made things happen faster, and it's huge. So super excited where we're going, and just having a game with a solid foundation, and then being able to cater to multiple audiences. So when we do market, there's something for everybody, and they stick. So I think we're doing a really good job there. We have a lot of work to do, but again, super excited. And then the history about the whole game, right? Like Dave just mentioned about we had some salty members here and there. They come, but look at Artemis the bear, man. That came out of like a salty situation, right? Remember when times were salty? We create stories for all this, and we're still here building. But yeah, no, it's just that's it. We have a lot of depth in so many areas, but super stoked about where we're going.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, congratulations on a year, Blaze. It's crazy that a year has just evaporated. But you've been such a positive addition to the team, and we've worked on a couple of things behind the scenes, and your influence and ability to make stuff happen, I think doesn't necessarily get the recognition and acknowledgement that it should. But happy you're here, and that foundation, like you say, is mission critical. Like we need to get the game to a place where it is something we're proud of. I think it is. For a long time, it was kind of I don't know if we necessarily attracted all of the right people for a long time, and I think that very much lent itself to a lot of the salt that we experienced the last couple of years. But now the game, we see it in tavern just about every day. You hop in and there's people coming for the right reasons, and are just blown away with the equal parts TCG and strategy economy. So that foundation has continued to be laid, and we're gearing up. Paul Keegs Gathering, Gator.
Yeah, I would say Frontier format's obviously number one, I think, for the most part. But one aspect of that with the fortune draws, I think that's kind of something that maybe people didn't realize was going to happen originally, because I don't think it was released whenever it first came out. A few weeks later, the fortune draws aspect of that really takes it up a notch, in my opinion. And it's definitely one of the better things that came out of that as well. That also corresponds with some other stuff that I like, because I do a lot of land stuff, and the auction marks and the fortune tickets that you can get to get the cool different types of foil cards. Another great thing that was introduced, obviously the foil cards also with the new set, but being able to cross promote things within the game where you need land resources are needed to buy some things, that type of stuff, to integrate things like that, and what's coming in the future in land. Land is one of the things I'm most excited about. One thing I think that happened this year, I think, was Aura. So Aura is another cool thing that happened with land. There is kind of a gate for that, but people did spend a lot of time and resources to try to build up their research to get some of that stuff. So I mean, people can get salty about that, I suppose, but that's another good thing I think that came out this past year.
Yeah, it's a great call, and it's kind of flown under the radar for the average folk. But you look back at land versus 7-8 months ago, and it was still where it was 18 months ago. And yeah, the team just continuing to deliver. Great call. Keegs Gathering, Gator. Anything in particular?
Yeah. I guess for me, like, I have to definitely agree with Jimmy a lot. It's more the direction that we're really going. I feel we're like finding our path a lot more. But also being the down nerd of me as well. I actually, the recent proposal around the SPS rental, yeah, I just think that kind of shows that we're maturing, and I'm excited to see, what else we can start doing. We have such a awesome wide scope with what we could be doing. And yeah, as we kind of evolve more and more, I'm excited to see what we put together. We have a lot of really smart, talented people in the community, with some good ideas. So like, how can we help support them, get them out there?
Nice. Yeah, I mean, thus far we've heard from a handful of different people. We've got Frontier mode, but something else. So I think that really just kind of sums up that there really is something for everybody in this game, this economy, this community. Gathering, you got something to add there, or Gator?
Yeah, I was just going to say, for me, it was kind of a tie between Frontier mode and the different collector foils, because we just pulled in two huge groups of players. For one, the free-to-play crowd. I mean, there's no reason now not to try the game out. Before it was a very small barrier, just the $10 spell book, but now there's really no reason. It's like, just come in, you can play for free, you can learn the game, you can earn some cards. If you enjoy it, you can move on from there. But like I said, the other aspect, and I think it's a really big one, is the collector side. I mean, when you start having, and I mentioned it like I think a year or two ago in one of the town halls, I said to Matt, I said, hey, have you guys ever thought about numbering cards? You know, if you pull like a 1 of 1 or a 1 of 10 or a 1 of 50, you know, for a lot of players that come from Magic the Gathering, you know, that's, or the sports card world, that's pretty exciting when you can pull those ultra rare cards, you know, and it's something that it's not necessary to play the game, but it's a cool bonus. I mean, if you're a collector, you're going to hoard it and treasure it and love it forever. If you're an investor or whatever, you can hang on to it, see if it goes up in value. Or if you just want to say, hey, you know, I really want to build my modern deck. You know, I just pulled this, you know, awesome max level card, you know, I can sell it and then just, you know, grow my modern deck. So it just opens so many different avenues, you know, with frontier mode for free to play and then the collectors with the different foils. So, and the last piece I think we're working on right now is the campaign mode, because I think most gamers are want to play solo. You know, there are people that want to play, you know, player versus player, but there's a lot of people that want to come in and just play a game, not against anyone else. They just want to play a game, get their achievements, get their, you know, loot chests, earn their cards, and call it a day. So once we get a solid campaign mode, not just for new players, but for veterans, I think that's going to open the final chapter of the missing piece in Splinterlands.
Yeah, it's something that you've been, you know, I remember tuning into Gatherings videos ages ago and asking for the PvE from the get. So yeah, no, I figure you're stoked about the direction of campaign mode and what's to come there. Gator, do you have a little bit of a different perspective? I mean, I think we all consume Splinterlands a little bit differently, but you being the you know, the keyboard whiz over there, I wonder if you've got you know,
We're
what
working
is it
on
that
it.
makes you tick, dude?
Um, well, I'm not gonna. I do tend to agree. Finally getting in a revamped, tutorial campaign mode and foundation mode for new players is probably one of the bigger things that's been done this year. I was actually looking back because we're getting towards the end of the year, and I'm sure on the town hall last town hall of the year we're gonna want to do a recap, and a lot of stuff happened this year. If you go
Yep.
back and look at it, Land 1.75 came out this year. Actually came out after Survival. It seems like it's been out forever, but uh, yeah, if you go back and look at stuff, we've revamped challenges, we revamped the whole training and practice mode. Most of the screens are different, maybe several times this year. So yeah, it's a very different experience than it was from a year ago, and hopefully it's moving in a good direction. I'll
Gator,
let you.
that annual recap is going to be a half-hour Gator monologue, man. we
Yeah, I'll try
still
to keep
we
it to
still
the high
got 2
point.
months.
Yeah, heck, Validators came out in the past year. That was
Validators,
something that was in progress for quite a while, much like Land. But yeah, I do think things are heading in a good direction, and hopefully we can continue to improve the new player experience as well as get through all these other ideas to improve the different aspects of the game that Dave and Blaze are tossing at us on a constant basis.
Those wild chefs, man, cooking up some crazy shit. I love it.
Goblin Chef, baby.
Bam. Dave,
Great
what's
card.
what is the right answer, Dave? You've heard everybody else. Don't
Yeah.
tell us what is the right answer.
I actually take that back. I don't know the right answer. Everybody's got their own way of playing. I would say, one of the things that was a focus to me was too many people looked at the game the way they played and they didn't see all the potential that we had. So we have not only hardcore gamers here, which is a pretty good chunk of people, but we also have the DeFi, ROI guys. But then, like Gathering said, we have collectors. The collectors were underserved, but we certainly have them, and that was a big area. The play for fun crowd. I mean, we still have a lot of people that I remember, when they first came, they didn't know what a sneak was or a snipe, and they're still here. Probably don't know much more than that now, but they still play every day. And then, of course, the engagement, with people being involved either in Discord or Twitter or in guilds. It's a home, for a lot of people. So, one of the things that, when you say, what's been accomplished this year, I mean, I agree. Black foils was a huge deal for the collectors. Not just the black foils, but the black foil arcades. That gave us an upgraded product that created value that a group of people, care about. And when that happens, that expands your ability to attract, one of those groups I talked about above. I also agree that Frontier mode was huge. Because it enables us to be able to have an easy onboard ramp. Nobody has to even know how to do crypto. They just sign up with a email address and they can start playing the game. They don't need to know what a Hive account is or how to do a transaction, how to rent, how to buy. They don't need any of that. They can just literally sign up and play. So that was a big deal. I think that the soulbound versus non-soulbound solution, in my opinion, is a pretty big deal. I think we'll look back and realize like we spent all those years, fighting over stuff when we actually use the best of both, in my opinion, to achieve the objectives we want to achieve. So the people that want to come here and play to earn, they now have something that they can play to earn, and the people that want to play competitively and have the best decks and don't want to pay a ton, also have the soulbound versions that they can earn. I think the fortune draws is a big deal as well, because that is a distribution mechanism that's fun. And, going back to why do people want to be here? Playing for fun is a big deal. And, now in the case of Frontier, it's free. And in the case of rank play, it's 10 cents a week. You get a lot of fun, right? Like there's a lot of people counting how many prizes they are. You even got guys doing spreadsheets like Brave Tofu, trying to figure out what his odds are and how many he's going to win over the course of the whole thing, and blah blah blah. The other thing I would say is that we did little things, like Paul mentioned, the auction marks and the raffles, but we also did the skins, which is just recent, so that might not have made it on the list, but these are big things because over time, we have to sell more than just pure, utility. If everything's utility, then it becomes very hard to grow, right? Because you don't have anything for fun or engagement. So, the skins, the Splinter vibes, which hasn't even been introduced yet, even though it's been made, all the little sounds we have in the game, the special effects, all that. I think that's a group in and of itself because they're tools that we developed that's going to pay big dividends in the future. And then I would say the last two things or the last three things. One, the brackets. Well, I guess these are on the horizon, but we're doing the work, whether it's live or not. But the brackets that was introduced, I think, is going to be consequential because similar to the soulbound, non-soulbound, I think the brackets is going to introduce a, like we can have multiple variations of the same mode and have, people, play the way they want, which is a pretty big deal. I think avatars is going to be another focus that's coming out soon that people are going to be impressed with. And then the last one is, I think future new modes is important. And, again, we have things on the drawing board, so I guess you can't really call that an achievement. But, having the development of future new modes similar to how we, popped in Frontier, I think you'll see more modes in the future, and I think that will be a plus. So all in all, I don't know if that's the right answer, but I'm sticking to it.
Well, I think, yeah, bam, major bam.
Bam.
You hit on something there, Dave, that I kind of want to segue into from here is, we saw the precedents be set with Frontier mode and, non-soulbound rewards and the fortune draws. And all of a sudden, at that point in time, I want to say you guys dropped Frontier mode in June, so 4 or 5 months ago, somewhere around there. And we saw a lot of folks saying, "Oh, I'm going to sell my modern cards because I can't earn anything that is meaningful." And there were a couple of you guys, I think Blaze and Dave, both of you guys kind of chimed in and just said, "Hey, hold my beer. We'll be back soon with, we want to make you eat those words pretty much." And fast forward to this past week, uh, introduction of or reintroduction of non-soulbound cards in Modern and Wild. Um, I think it's, you look at the market, there's a lot of activity. There's, 5 grand in sales from reward cards in the last 24 hours. Um, there's stuff happening. I know, there's at least a couple of us on here that are kind of constantly combing through the gold foil market and trying to pick up some of these cards. So is it pretty unanimous here that rewards feel meaningful and impactful again? I mean, I know where I stand. Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Not only that, we're not done yet.
Oh, a tease. Oh no.
Tell us more, Blaze.
No one's listening. It's alpha time.
The beavers will be unleashed. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about land cards and you guys called out jackpot cards a couple of weeks ago. I mean, yeah, there's still more stuff that you guys are cooking, which is just crazy. Yeah, so I think unanimous.
Merits a little more. I mean, can't that merit a little more when you say there's more coming? Like, what are you talking about? Is there like, are you talking the new foil? Are you talking cards? You talking mustache skins? What like, just give us a little hint. Damn it.
Damn it.
Well, I think we've tipped about the jackpot cards. So there's going to be a little group of jackpot cards magically showing up in the game. I don't know when or where, but they will be. So
like super rare foils and cards that just maybe in a chest
possibly.
Or you win a battle and all of a sudden this amazing reward comes up out of nowhere. You got that 1 in 5 million chance of doing it, and bam, there it is.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fun. That's for sure. I mean, again, now we have a lot of methods to bring in new stuff, right? So having these draws and stuff weekly, people get excited. Friday's a big deal, Monday's a big deal. Like it's becoming.
The draws are awesome. Yeah, the draws were a huge addition. I mean, we saw it with Frontier. Now bringing that into the real game, that's I hear of people manually playing Wild now just for the draw factor and getting hooked. I think someone on this call just dropped a couple bucks, maybe 20, 30 bucks on some Wild cards recently. A kitty, among other things.
Something like that.
Jingles and I definitely went down that path. But next week, we're going to be doing a gaming stream, just an FYI. We're going to be starting a new stream, and we're going to be gaming. I mean, this is a game, so we are going to be showing off our cards. So looking forward to that.
Who's we, please?
We is all of us. You, no, Jingles and I are going to start it off, but yeah, we're going to be welcoming guests, and whoever wants to strut their stuff, they're welcome to come and join us. So it's going to be a fun little add to Splinterlands, so we can all actually just enjoy the game versus look at the opportunities and such. So it's going to be a fun event. I'm looking forward to getting it going, but in addition, Jimmy, we are working with some content creators, and we have a Bulldogs working on something special. So I am working with him on a little project along with Dave, and should be entertaining. Again, we have an entertaining game now, so I'm looking forward to doing all kinds of creative stuff for marketing from all kinds of angles. So we have the cool game now. We can show it off. I'm looking forward to how we can attract people and keep testing the waters.
Have you come up with
That's
a show name? Come up with a show name yet? Like
Yeah,
what the
I
name
have
of
a
your show
list
is
of
gonna
about
be?
100 names, but definitely the tag is going to be just one more.
Just one more.
That's pretty
just
good.
one more. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
famous
I do
last
have to
words.
say that hearing about like Jangles starting to play, dabbling in wild manually and then realizing how freaking awesome it is. That's another thing that gives me a tremendous amount of optimism for exactly that. Like it doesn't have to be everything modern, then we focus on that and then cards rotate out and then they're doomed for land. Like the fact that we have the potential to really utilize these older cards in multiple different modes is, I think, actually essential. Not just cool, but actually essential. And it's amazing to see that happening because Wild is just getting more insane. Every edition that comes
Jimmy,
out, every ability, it's amazing.
so wild is truly wild. When we
It's
do our
wild.
testing sessions, we're not testing wild and like how this card's going to break wild. Wild is like whatever we bring into the game is going there. And the how things are going to work, that's just FAFO, right?
That's just how it
So
happens. Just throw it
yeah.
in there, see what happens.
Yeah, so I think that's where Jingles and I have been getting a little taste of that. It's like, wow, I mean, you got everything here. You got the Artemis Bear, but then now you got Calamity to smack his shield off, right? So all kinds of fun little combos, and then with speed, like getting all the wild cards, and see how fast we can get this now with Kitty, especially. We can probably get some mad speed teams going on.
And
Um,
bloodlines in Wild, that's just another
yeah,
insane dynamic. That's just awesome. It's awesome to see. Just the depth and the growth of everything right now is very encouraging.
You have
yeah.
to
Oh,
have
and
like a
remember, we
PhD.
took
You have to
all.
have you have
Go
to have like
ahead,
a
Paul.
PhD. You have to have like a PhD to be able to figure out all the wild stuff.
Or you
You have to
Yeah,
just
have a
spam Kitty.
PhD in
Or you
spin.
just spam Kitty, Paul.
Okay.
That's the real answer.
yeah, but you can stay on the porch if you want, Nobody's telling you got to go run with the big dogs, but no, that's the thing though. There's something for everybody, and that's something that's not being tapped into about our game, and I think that's going to be super entertaining as the years tick on here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch, and it goes hand in hand with rewards becoming meaningful again, is the uptick of manual play in Wild. Because it is so much fun. Like tapping back into my chaos cards that have just been sitting idly by. I haven't touched, they've all got a big fat layer of dust that has just accumulated over the last few months on these cards. They've just been sitting in my collection, not being used. Of course I did have some sitting on lands, but rediscovering the meta, and then yeah, I did purchase a kitty and a handful of untamed cards. The untamed market is just insane right now. Those cards are so good. I bought a $12 max Magnor, which is just
That's
that's just
insane.
crazy talk. That's just crazy talk. So it'll be really interesting to see as these fortune draws continue to happen, and as these reward cards start to creep more and more into the meta and define kind of like the next generation of Splinterlands. How do we get more reward cards? How do we get more glints? How do we get more draws? Well, the answer is obvious, and it's participating in Wild in one way, shape, or form, and in Modern. So I think it does really good things for the card market. It does good things for obviously SPS plays a more significant role in earning rewards and draws than it has in the past. Um, so yeah, it's an exciting new chapter of what does Splinterlands look like, and I have never been more excited for Wild. I always kind of ascribe to the perspective of once cards leave Modern, what do you do? Well, you park them on land or whatever, but yeah, not anymore. I'm trying my best to get my 15 wins every day, and yeah, if you come up against me and Dragons on the board, just FYI, Kitty is coming. That card is is so much fun, man.
I think Alamo Cambio is on the market for a good deal. If you guys don't have that card and you want to play this wild game, you might want that card.
What's the price? What are we looking at right now for an Alamo?
I think it was $60.
$50
That's
right
not
now.
bad.
$50 max
What?
Almo.
Look at
You
the
know,
price on some of the legendary summoners from beta. I think they're way, way, way too cheap. Legendary summoners for like $5, $6, $8. It's like, really?
It's crazy.
one thing, speaking of that, you mentioned SPS. A lot of times people have said, oh, really, for a while now, like SPS is just, nobody needs any extra. Well, now if you go to the, token rental market on Peak Monsters, I mean, it's like starts at 500,000 and just you got to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll all the people that want SPS right now. So people haven't, adjusted yet to the fact that it's probably at a higher price than 0.001, but that's just one small thing that happens when you create demand. And that's what those black foils and black foil arcanes and gold foil arcanes did, is they created a tool, or a prize that people want, and they're willing to go out and rent SPS to make it happen. So that's I think it's what would be the word? A view into the
Chocolate
future.
babies.
Yeah, a chocolate baby view into the future. Bam.
Bam. So quick question, and this would help inform other
that
people.
$50 Almo is off the market, by the way.
Oh, bam! Damn.
You bastards.
Did you get your $50 Lord of Darkness yet, Jimmy?
No, not yet.
Oh, I'm telling you, you're not a Death fan until you have Lord of Darkness, man. No kudos until you have that card, man. You could just say you like Death, but you don't really like Death until you've got a max Lord of Darkness kicking ass out there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get
Now
there.
you got to get your alpha gold foils that are under $10 that I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. That it's like, how is it still there? Yeah. I thought $15 was the floor for an alpha gold foil, and then some of them dip lower. And I'm like, guys, pick these up. They're not going to last long. Do you know how rare these are?
That's good collector stuff, man. I was using them for filler on land at 909. Was it 909? 900 PP or something like that on a synergistic plot. And they're starting to fade out as I get higher cards in there. But yeah, great cheap fillers on land too, and collector's values there. So I wanted to ask about SPS, renting SPS. Does the person who rents out their SPS lose the benefits of holding SPS? Like, how does the dynamic work when you rent it out to someone else? Like, does your vote power go down?
No, you keep the vote power and you keep the SPS and voucher earnings off of it. But you don't get it counted in your, battle. So
in the battle. Okay.
Right. So if you're battling and you've rented out your SPS and you had no SPS, you wouldn't get any SPS earnings. And it doesn't count if you want to play for the fortune draws. So essentially only the people that would want to rent it out
over 5 million,
or they just don't need it because they're not going to play. Right. They own it, but they're not going to play. If you're going to play,
they have more than 5 million.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. Makes me think about maybe renting a little SPS. No, probably not. I actually rented a little SPS to hit the 2.5 million mark for the draw. Another awesome thing to see, intentional utility being provided. Again, another one of those, signs you're just like, yes, this is awesome to see, and we just keep stacking up the wins there.
I think it was Aftersound the other day that dropped a video highlighting exactly that, the significant increase in market activity on SPS rental bids. It's a page deep now, and bids for a long time were just non-existent. So yeah, folks are definitely seeing and responding to this additional value. Sorry, I cut you off, Paul. Go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, so I guess you have to do the .002 now to have it be filled immediately. The .001 doesn't work anymore.
I mean, you could try. There's like more than one page. There's like 5 pages starting with 500,000 going all the way down to like 10,000. But I mean, you can try. But if you want it, quick, you definitely should go to 0.002.
I think
Nice.
I think Brave Tofu said he'd get any bids at 002. So I think he said he was going to buy SPS to do it. So that's a good incentive to get some more off the market too.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
we
saw
we
that
were
post.
talking about this the other day. Tofu's just looking for an excuse to buy more SPS, is what it really is. That's the truth. But yes, give him a reason to buy more SPS.
I must be in the
Let's get
minority.
800
I would
million.
love to just get rid of SPS rentals altogether. And it's like, if you want it, just go buy it. It's so cheap. It's like, I can understand renting cards because you're not sure if you really want to buy the card and invest in the card. But with SPS, it's like, okay, I want another 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. It's like, okay, go buy it. What's going to push the price up? People needing it or wanting it and buying it, not just renting it. I don't know, maybe I'm just in the minority, but it's like, to me, just get rid of rentals. Just have them buy it. If you don't like it, you can turn around and sell it, but at least, get that demand out there. And it's like, hey, I want another 100,000. It's not that expensive at under a penny.
Well,
For
that
some
was.
people,
Oh, go ahead, Keeks.
I have to say for some people for sure, but also like it really, I feel if we get rid of the rentals, that makes it so much worse for new players. Like having the SPS rentals is such a easy onboard for the new players, And I'd much rather I prefer the carrot approach instead of stick. I feel if we get rid of it, that's basically the stick approach, trying to force a behavior. Whereas if we can like incentivize a behavior, I feel then people that kind of utilize it don't get burnt, and then it just gives more incentives to and more utility to our token.
Yeah, but you
Well,
can
this.
still delegate it then, right? So even new players coming in, if they can get into a guild, which I highly recommend any new players listening to this, if you've got friends that are in a guild, definitely get in a guild. They could just have like guild mates, say, hey, you know what, I'll delegate you, 20,000, 50,000 SPS, so they wouldn't have to go out and buy it. So that would kind of cover, the whole rental side where they are getting the SPS and they're not having to, invest in it right away. But if they decide that, hey, I love the game, I want to get into it, just go ahead and buy it rather than just rent it.
Yeah,
You
SPS.
bring up an interesting one there, Gathering, and we've long heard the guild overhaul is, I think it was as far back as 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, that we first heard whispers of things like alliances and new buildings and stuff like that. Something that I would really love to see, and to your point, is an SPS vault. I can delegate 50K SPS to my guild and or my guild alliance. And for any new players that come in, the guilds, the umbrella guild, the guild alliance can then, pass that forward to the new players. I think that, Split Jimmy, you shared the anecdote of one of your buddies who was big into gathering the magic and came in and just really struggled to understand the ins and outs of the website, and just the crypto element was completely new, and just getting lost in the interface and the waves of and layers of different things to kind of sink your teeth into. As much of that friction that we can completely remove through something like guilds, which we already know is such a no-brainer for new players, and from our perspective, it's a huge sticking point. That's something that I would love to see. I think that is a worthwhile conversation. And Keegs, you called out earlier the maturing of the DAO and the manner in which the conversation around SPS rentals and SPS rental decay and that sort of stuff. I think I don't know if we're ready for it yet, but I do think it is a conversation that should be had. I do like the idea of prioritizing ownership, but we've got so much stuff going on. I would rather see that variable isolated. And because we've got so much other stuff going on at the moment, I think it's beneficial to kind of table that conversation for another time, in my opinion.
I also want to bring up the old, one of the things I did really like about the old days of the old AMAs and stuff was the whole spawn point equality and really bringing opportunity to people who don't otherwise have it because of their economic conditions or their location, geographic location, etc. I was just talking to a Filipino player the other day who makes $8 a day. That's like his full-time job gets him $8 a day. So being able to rent SPFs or rent cards or anything is really a tremendous opportunity for someone to be able to do. And that's someone who literally would not be able to buy any of that stuff, so it's just trying to keep it. I do think ownership should be incentivized somehow over renting without punishing renters. I know that might sound like a contradiction and maybe an impossibility, but it's one of those problems I think we could actually solve if we put our heads to it. But I really don't want to. I want the game to be as accessible to as many people as possible and change as many lives as it's seen. I've already seen some amazing stories, where Splinterlands has literally changed people's lives, and that's just something that in like the US, it might be just hardly any money, but for someone in a different part of the world, it's literally life changing. And I think that's one of the strongest points of the game that we've always had, and I want to see that continue forward. And I think that's part of the biggest, like, if we could really nail that, there's some success there. There's millions and millions of people who would be willing to dive in that instance.
Do we have something in the game that points like new players to guilds? Like, is there a chapter in the campaign mode? Or is that something that can be added at some point?
I believe, Gator, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that if they're not in a guild, every time they go to their player page, where you click battle, there's a chat there with guild chat, and if they're not in a guild, it says click here to join a guild.
Maybe we got to ramp up the negative feeling there. Like, where's your friends at?
Yes.
You would have earned this if you were in a guild. You would have gotten this much more.
Exactly.
Blaze did it. Blaze fixed the sorry you didn't win thing. He and Gator got together and put together a nice little message as opposed to sorry you didn't win. They actually made it a little better. So yeah, we can definitely improve messaging for sure.
Let's shift gears here, guys. Let's have a little fun. What so talking about Wild, it makes me think about all these old cards that most of us, especially the guys that are predominantly modern players, we kind of ignore. We don't really see on the market. We don't really look for them on the market. I think the Wild conversation changes that a little bit. Do you guys have one card in the game that is either your white whale or your easy pick for your favorite card in the game?
Mine, Jimmy.
Do you own it? Yeah, we know yours, Jimmy. By the way, we've got we're planning for a tournament to celebrate the 150th episode. We got, as of right now, I think 200 pickles. We got a handful of packs from Chaos Legion Rift Watchers. We got some alphas. We got some betas. We got a BCX of Gotham. We got a whole bunch of different prizes. We're planning on celebrating the 150th episode with a live tournament at a to be determined date in some point in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, Jimmy's favorite card. We also have some BCX of that. The Afraid Elder. There. Is that what it is?
That's right. So it's not the most useful card in the game. It's just my favorite card because aesthetically it's awesome. The artwork of the full character, when you look at the lore page, the thing that's captured in the frame, the background is amazing and works really well with the character. It's kind of a limited palette, so it works incredibly well. It's a fire card, so it's got the red and the gold and the orange. It looks great in regular foil with the Untamed border. It looks amazing in gold foil. It's an incredibly useful card, especially back in the day when Magic was not a strong point in fire. And it was one of the really, few Magic cards in fire and kind of an unexpected play. It's got Last Stand, just a great card in general. Personal favorite. I keep buying them when I see them cheap just to stock them up. Like I'm a junior Flesh Golem farm. Like I've got a small fraction of Matt Clark's Flesh Golem collection in Efreet Elders.
Jimmy the
Very
Elder.
small friend.
Well, I'm biased with my favorite card because Dave and I and Mellow Fellow helped create it. Is Possibilis the Wise. But before that, my favorite card's Chain Golem, and that was the Untamed promo card. and that just has all kinds of utility with it, with shield and void. I mean, you can't go wrong with a tank, shield and void. That's definitely one of my favorites. Sorry, Keegs, I think
And
I talked over you there. Yeah,
Stun at
yep.
max level.
I'm a big fan of Izia. I'm always reaching for Izia and as many resurrections as I can, and just like stack up a couple cards. Actually, one of my guildmates was talking about a rule set is everything could have Martyr. That'd be a hectic game.
Yo, rule. That's
Whoa,
that's something that we
pretty
ignored
cool.
earlier. Is the advent of all these community-born rule sets, and that immediately impacts everybody's day-to-day experience with the game. The rule set influx has just been awesome.
Yeah, and then it's going to be changing a lot, right? And people have to get used to it, right? I don't know if the Blood Moon one really, it's it's a hit. It's fun when everybody gets Bloodlust, but we have a nice rollout over the next month with rule sets. I think Harry just released one recently with Painforge, right? But yeah, we have a big list, and a lot of them are community built, and Outsider is one of them. And Outsider brings in a wild card, so
hot damn,
that one
Nice.
is
Cool.
So you bring a wild card into Modern? That's what the deal is?
Yeah, I don't know who submitted that one, but it was automatically approved by me. Really quick on the. Oh, go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I said whoa. I did my Keanu Reeves impression. Whoa.
Is that for Archons or just units?
Units.
Unix.
Okay.
Unix.
Hey, you gotta
only Unix.
Only Unix.
I'm a little disappointed. Oh, go ahead. Now you finish.
I just want to go on favorite cards. I mean, Nightmare, Exploding Dwarf, just not like play wise, but like just just the feel of the card, right? Speed, blast, they're two go-to phase, yeah.
Great card.
I got the gold foil of Nightmare, but I don't have the gold foil of Exploding Dwarf yet. I think there's one on the market. I'm tempted, but my DC's running low. And then Buttercup Muller as one of the newer ones, obviously. But yeah, those are my three kind of like just in general favorite cards. Not really to play with, but just overall cool cards.
I wonder what yours is, Dave.
Before I do that, I have to give my disappointment in Jimmy. I thought the Skinwalker was going to be his favorite card.
Let me do the thing. There, I'm doing the Skinwalker right now.
I was a little disappointed there. My favorite card would probably, other than Rusty's just me, having said that, I still like Wood Nymph a lot from back in the day. I played that damn thing all the time, and Twisted Jester from the Alpha days. I just think that's a really badass card. So
nice.
It is a badass card.
And Skinwalker.
Because of the graphic.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Hey, Gator Gathering. You guys got a
I would say my favorite card definitely now. I just got it recently. I was lucky enough to pull a gold Dargatum, which is the best card I've ever gotten in the game. So that is my new favorite. But for playing the game, as soon as it released, I knew it would be my favorite is Arachne Weaver. Because Death has always needed a heal, and boy, did it get a heal with that corrupted healing. So anytime there's Death available, it's like, okay, can I play that for 5 mana? It's going in.
She might be the best healer in the game, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got a Nept healer doing the same thing now too, and another healing lacking element, fire. So that's a huge plus, right? A Nept healer. I'm thinking of the right one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the girl.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember you calling the Arachne Weaver really early when everyone was eyeballing Olivia, and you were going Arachne Weaver.
No. Everybody's like, oh, that one's the best of the epics. I think is the best epic set we've had in any of the sets that's been released. Those reward epics were like better than the legendaries. I mean, all of them are very, very good. But yeah, everyone was like just fawning over Olivia the Brook, or even Halfling Refugee was a great card. Oh my guys, the Weaver is the one. This is just such a powerful card. In fact, Buns, Bags, and Caps is just like he wants to get that card banned. He just hates going up against Corrupted Healing. I'm like, no, this is the best card ever.
Did you
I
all
saw
see?
Ofu's the Praetorian the other day of the Inept Healer. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's what I was
cool.
going to mention. That's exactly what I was going to mention.
This is his video introduction of Meet the Praetorians. So he said,
Yeah, the Inept Healer one.
It's a good one. Very good one.
We all know Keegs' favorite card is obviously
Rick Loneman.
Rick Loneman. That's Rick Loneman, obviously.
We don't have a Gator card yet in game yet, Gator. So I'm assuming you're holding out for that one. But until that one arrives, is there a card that strikes your fancy?
Favorite's kind of hard, but most of them aren't in Modern anymore. So I used to really like Sea Monster, especially once it's got thorns and self heal. Naga Warrior. I kind of like when everybody was playing all Magic Blue to play like Stompy Monster Blue. Kron the Undying is always fun. Try to win with a giant unkillable monster. Never a big fan of Cube because that was kind of like win with a card that you couldn't kill. But Calamity is pretty fun in Modern now. Try to
That card
get
is
him to be the
ridiculous.
last guy standing on your team.
Yeah, Last Stand is such a fun element, man. I love Llama for exactly that. But yeah, Calamity has been a lot of fun with. I've long been Razzie is my gal, and Calamity. I don't know if there's any card that plays better with Razzie than Calamity. That's fun stuff. And you
There's a
mentioning
lot of
Sea
like,
Monster and Naga Warrior, man. You're making me look at the market again. Shit.
Sea Monster's
Yeah.
a great card, man. Great card. Underrated for sure.
I'm surprised how well the Gladius cards play today. Like Tatiana Blade. Like you can really do some damage with that card.
Just kicked me in the nuts, Jimmy. I can't. I was just looking the other day. I've got like dozens of extra copies of every other legendary, and I cannot max that card. I just can't do it. It just doesn't happen. Literally dozens of extra copies of every other legendary, and I'm just like, why? Why can't I get
I burned 3
that?
BCX of Tatiana last week, Jimmy.
What, dude? Oh, man, that's crazy. That's crazy talk right there. God
Wasn't
damn
there a
it, you
hint that
crazy
those
bastard. You bastard. You have all these Tatianas, you burn it. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? You bastard.
wasn't there a hint those
Damn
might be
bastard.
tradable at some point in the future?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, they should be.
Do you guys like the unbind scrolls? And if so, would you like to see an unbinding scroll for gladiators?
That would be a cool jackpot prize.
Yeah, definitely.
I was thinking another cool jackpot prize would be like a free wild pass token. Have an ultra rare one where it's like, hey, you win this and you can pick, to redeem it, and you get one season to play in wild for free.
Cool. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, the unbind scrolls are definitely a pretty cool thing that was added in, and I would definitely put them in for the Gladius ones. I mean, obviously once you have the new set coming out, I don't know how soon that's going to happen. Is a new set going to be coming out with Gladius cards anytime soon?
I mean, not by the end of the year. I know that. In other words, it's on the list, but it's not on the list for this year.
Well, this year's over, Dave.
Yeah,
we got
No,
like
it's not.
2 weeks left.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Gator, are you done for the year? I think you got a lot
We're
more
done.
to do.
We're done, man. 2 months goes by before you even blink these days, man.
Stay tuned, Jimmy. We got more coming.
Yeah, I was,
Yeah, two
I
or
was
three
figuring, I
major
was figuring,
projects they want out before the end of the year. No problem.
Shoot. Yeah, I love the idea of making these Gladius cards accessible to new folks because, like you say, Blaze, they are still really impactful. You know, like the EMP Isgald Vorse play. That is just that is just
Yeah.
devastating.
And I don't see
Core,
a
of
reason
course.
why we shouldn't keep them. What even if the new set comes out, why we can't keep these ones in the store, right?
Yeah,
I would
why
say,
not?
Mhm.
they're not,
Yeah.
they're very cheap, and they give out a lot of merits anyway. Like, it doesn't take long to build up a set of gladiators.
No, it used to. It used
Oh
to. It
yeah.
used to. It used to
Mhm.
take ages.
Yeah, now it's on like turbocharge. You fly through them.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we move back to I don't know what it looks like, but I'll be curious to see how the team navigates that because I agree that the original Gladius packs, why would we not want those kind of always accessible in guild shops for folks? And then just introduce new packs available for purchase with the same token. Well, we'll probably have folks. I did dump like Jimmy. Tatiana was one that I had everything maxed and doubles and triples of a whole bunch of cards. I was sitting 2 or 3 BCX shy on Tatiana, and I said screw it and bought a couple hundred packs a few weeks ago and lucked out, grabbed enough Tatianas to get her to max. But I still have almost 700,000 merits. So we're gonna have folks that are ready to pile in as soon as that new set's available. But yeah, I think keeping
funny.
these things for evergreen in the shop is the right call, and making them accessible to new players is also the right call.
I never thought about that, but I love that idea. I really do. That's kind of cool. And I took because you inspired me to buy a bunch of Gladius packs to try to max out my Tatiana after I heard you did it. Didn't work. I was just sitting there like, come on.
So somebody's
We'll have
got
to try.
some spare BCX to send you, Jimmy. It's not me, and it won't be
You
me.
can't
But
though. They're all locked up, man. We can't get those out there.
well, once we get the unbiting schools, I mean,
Yeah, that's true. We're talking about, and I honestly, I really like the idea of having the original Gladius set permanent as a sale item in the guild store once it rotates out. Why not? That's kind of a cool thing and a special thing too. It's not the main set. It's not the subset.
If you do make it evergreen, you just take away the collectible aspect. Like nobody will care about it being collectible if it's forever there. So just consider that.
maybe the price per pack goes up with every subsequent release or something. I think there's a way to
Ooh,
like toss a
yeah.
toss a dynamic in there where it encourages the collectability and still remain because Bloodlust is so strong. I mean that's why we're seeing the success of Blood Moon, and I agree it is a very fun rule set, but yeah, I feel like there's a dynamic there. I don't know what it
Do
is,
you
but
guys do you guys like Blood Moon, by the way?
oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Anything crazy like that is awesome.
I would
It's
actually
just
love to see it come back like every Friday the 13th or something if we have a season that happens to include a Friday the 13th. Keeping it once per
ooh.
year. That's a long time. We're a fickle one, Dave. So what have you done for me lately is the name of the game. So yeah, we get a taste of this Blood Moon rule set. I would love to find, we talked about the idea of like celebrating Praetorian holidays or whatever the lore allows for, or and obviously the sky's the limit
Festivus.
with the creative stuff. Yeah, the Festivus.
I
Yeah,
would love to see Festivus as an official Praetorian holiday. That would be fantastic. The Festivus poll and the airing of
it's a new
grievances.
land
We have a
item.
day
The
where we have the
Festivus
airing
poll.
of grievances in Discord. It's like it's allowed.
That's
Boom.
every day,
Airing of
Jimmy.
go.
That's every day,
Yeah.
dude.
The tavern is Festivus.
Yeah. Oh shit.
So Blaze, do you think you can get Nate to put in Festivus?
Right? Sneak it in.
The Festivus poll could be a card also. It really could be.
You also have the feats of strength, the wrestling. You have to wrestle too.
That's right. The feats of strength.
Divinity
Absolutely. It
now.
just lends itself for a Praetorian holiday. It's made for it.
Get some special skins for it and everything.
That man, the
Hell
skins
yeah.
were such a big. I mean, it feels like it was ages ago, but it was just a couple of weeks ago on the Team Possible call. We were all kind of like strategizing how are we going to go about it, and everybody was saying, "Oh, I'm going to wait until the new reward cards." And Gator, I think I got to credit you for actually putting up your hand and saying, "Yeah, I don't know. I think those things might sell out." And sure enough, like we came down to the wire, and those things were selling like hotcakes, man. I love the precedent of the skins. I love that it displays the appetite for aesthetic stuff with this community. It's yeah, the skins was such a huge success. That was awesome.
That was funny. There was like two left, and I got a DM. Hey, get a post out. I got the post out. Oh, they're sold out. Oh, okay. Sold out. On that note, 30 million, just about 30 million glint up in smoke for the spooky skins off the reward shop. So that's cool. And I don't have the number for the chest, but Dave and Gator, I think, looked at it one time, and it was quite a high number, right, Dave?
Yeah, we
With the
doubled.
ultimate.
We doubled the number of chests.
You know what I would love to see? So if you go to the Splinterlands market, you see 24-hour transactional volume. If you go to Peak Monsters, you see, similar statistics. I would love to see that, not to add one more thing on that giant list of the team's to-dos, but I would love to see like glint market volume on the reward shop page. If we could see that a lot of folks are sinking glint into skin, I think it just adds that element of, we definitely saw folks like Jeff opens cards. Oh, there's only 2 of these haunted skins left. I'm gonna go, roll the dice on all 50 of my accounts and all of my slave accounts.
The slave accounts.
So I think it adds that element of FOMO of holy shit, there's a lot of glint that's getting pumped into the shop at the moment.
That'd be cool.
You know, a
like
counter would
how
be
much
cool.
glint was spent in the last 24 hours, how many chests were sold, how many draws, how many gold foils were pulled. Yeah, that would be a good addition.
Maybe that's a Beaker
Anything
thing.
that monitors that. I was just thinking Beaker, but Beaker's got his own thing. I really want to see a lot of this in game. Or we hire Beaker. That could be something the DAO can do. Hire Beaker to do official things on the website. That was it.
If one of you guys puts together something like that, like what you would like to see, and kind of show it around and make sure it's got like that's a good thing, then we can probably do that. I don't think it's too hard.
A general stats page for all this stuff would be awesome.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure there's somebody out there who
a
can.
gathering just rattled off a whole bunch of things he'd like to see, put them down and ask around, and if that seems to be consensus, get it to me and we'll make it happen.
I see
I would think
Gator. I
anything
see
limited.
Gator tightening his grasp on his beverage at the moment.
Yeah.
More shit for me to do.
The good thing about Gator, though, is something like that's easy for Gator. Like he tackles the big stuff too, so he didn't get too worried about those little API calls. He's busy.
I think anything that tracks limited items would be a motivator for people. It would encourage FOMO, especially as it moves down. Like all of the gold foil and all these rare foils in the reward set that are all limited. It would be amazing to have a place you could just click and see what's left. I bet you're going to see people spending more glint as that number of availability goes down.
Well, the Beaker does have a site for that already.
Yeah, I think that overall needs to be part of the game too, right? Like it's really hard to see the historical sales, and Wax did a good job of that, where you can go see history for a project and see what's sold recently, like the last 24 hours. That would cause FOMO, where I just bought 2 Yabanius's today to get it to the next level so I can get Shatter. And like if somebody else was to see that, they'd be like, oh, there's one more on the market under $100. So that's the only one on the market. I'm going to go buy it. So it does help with that aspect too. Just so the community's alert of what's happening.
Yeah,
Mhm.
putting those numbers in game to paint the picture, I think, is a powerful thing. So you got Yaba at man. I keep periodically buying packs. I still have yet to pull a freaking Yaba card, man. That
Yeah, I
guy's
throw my hands up.
is an
I
elusive
buy
one.
them now, dude. Yeah,
$100
I go on the
bucks.
market. Yeah.
There's one left, man.
It's a lot cheaper than what they were. Like for a long time, they were sitting around that $200 mark. So
Yeah, DCA is the way to go on those because again, there's only what 1,500 of the regular foils, and only 85 have been pulled, something along those lines.
That's crazy.
That's one thing that I miss when I do my market watch videos, when I do my deep dive, is on the main page when you're looking at the card, it shows the price and how many are on the market, but it doesn't show how many are in circulation like it used to. They moved that to where you actually have to click on the card and then it'll have the circulation. So for me, that was like the one thing that I didn't like that was changed recently is I miss having that circulation number on the main page. Because one of the reasons I do it is just kind of like a historical timestamp. So we can look, years from now and go, okay, this is how many were available at this amount of time. Like this is how many cards were printed. So that's just the one
when
minor
you,
thing.
yeah, I don't understand. Like I look at peak monsters for what I do. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about in game?
In game on like if you just go to the card market,
Okay.
you can see the price and you can see like currently there's so many on the market on the right upper right of the card. Used to be in the center top of the card, it would tell you the circulating number. So you could say, oh, there's only 230 of this particular card. You can still see that, but you have to actually click on the card to get the total amount in
I
circulation.
was looking for that the other day.
So we
Actually, I
hit
forget
it.
what card it was.
I should take that up with Nate, Fat Jimmy.
Yeah, Bad Jimmy, can you
Go
get a
on back to the next
going on
channel,
that?
but
Oh, Gathering the Magic, you do it first, and then I'll chime in. If it doesn't work in a week, I'll just get all
that was
aggro.
something that we argued about internally.
I
Yeah, just
didn't know.
making things as easy as possible.
I agree.
Anytime something gets harder with more clicks, it's like, oh,
That's why I go to Peak Monsters so I can see that information. So
Gotcha.
well, the more in game, the better. Like honestly, I want to get to the point where anything you want to do in game is just easy. It's there. It's awesome.
I agree. My point is, it's definitely an important thing to give you an easy view towards. Like people should know how many cards are in circulation at a glance.
Yes.
Or you could just
At a
replace
glance.
it instead of putting like the specific data on the center for how many are in circulation, just put the words not enough on each card and just leave it at that.
All right, guys. Well, let's we're coming up on 2 hours here. Let's look ahead. Next 12 months. The current year has been, I think, for all intents and purposes, and for most folks that you speak to in the community, it's been a huge success. Looking ahead at the next 12 months, obviously we're all contributing and chipping in to bring in new players, and you go down the list of our YouTube content creators, our Twitch content creators. We continue to see new folks kind of hopping on there. Keegs with his under the hood and his DAO show. We've seen a couple of new Twitch content creators hop out there and do their own streams, and we continue to have folks, hopping on and doing their part. So looking ahead, we've got, I mean, you guys have already rattled off a handful of things that are cooking up in the kitchen at the moment, but 12, have you guys started to think about 12 months from now? Like where do we want Splinterlands to be? Let's assume that the players come. Like what are we looking for as what's our high water mark in terms of not player number, but the state of the game? Like what are we looking for things to be very different in the next 12, 14 months from now? Is there one thing that kind of sticks out in your mind that you guys could put your finger on?
Permanent
All right.
buildings for land is what I'm looking forward to. I know land is being worked on, but when we can get to the point where the buildings that we build are actually going to be the ones we're going to have on our plot, and we can start using our resources to like level those. I think they talked about in the past maybe going from 1 to 10, kind of like how build buildings go from 1 to 10. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm really looking forward to the land cards myself. I think that's going to be a cool new aspect that's going to be brought into the game. Yeah, that's the mini set. I don't know if the mini set's going to come out this year or next year, but definitely the mini set and how that's going to affect the DAO and how much SPS that can earn us as a DAO. I think it's the first set where we're getting everything from it. So that'll be another interesting thing to watch. Also, I think the guild rework is also getting a whole new revamp on the guilds will be very, very cool. I think people have been wanting that for a long time. Needs to. I think everyone has. And, I'm hopefully Matt. I think Matt's cooking up some really good stuff for that. Hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah, I reckon guild stuff is going to be good. Really looking forward to guild updates. And then I've got some ideas brewing, and I know some others have some ideas brewing, but tournaments, I think tournaments could be a big update and game changer for Splinterlands, and like trying to bring it out more into the esports kind of realm. I feel we're so close. And yeah, hopefully over this next year or so, we can really push it over that line.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Geeks. That's the area I really want to like. It takes a little patience, right? Like getting the game and the feel right before we go there is important, right? But that rework is going to be huge. Not only that, just even survival mode, it's going to come back, and and I think a lot of people, it's going to satisfy that audience that really wants leagues. So there's a lot of different levels to this, but yeah, tournaments and guild rework are two things I'm really looking forward to, as well as bringing in another 15, 20,000 daily players would be insane. So
yeah, I think brackets are continuing to kind of fly under the radar for a lot of folks. I think that's such a meaningful rework with the survival stuff, and it gives us so much opportunity to try new stuff and expand the way we kind of think about Splinterlands gameplay in a box. I think brackets breaks down the walls of the box and gives us every opportunity to introduce new and fun and different ways to consume Splinterlands. I also think the guild stuff is one that is a really big one. For a long time, guilds, back when bots were still allowed in modern, I remember the community kind of rallying around guilds and guild brawls, and that kind of being the last fun, super fun, like authentic, genuine gameplay that folks were super excited to consume. So I look forward to that coming back, and I'm excited to see what Matt has planned for. He's talked about a completely different way to play your Splinterlands cards, which I think is, again, a big precedent and something that is desperately needed.
I would say expanding what you can purchase in the voucher shop would be cool. Right now, it's maybe just one thing. I'm sure we'll have more things in the future in that. Glint as well. Having more things that you can purchase in the Glint shop is another good thing that I would guess most likely stuff would be added to that next year. I don't know if Matt's thinking about this. He probably is, but having things to purchase with the new guild rework with merits would probably be good, since so many people have a big backlog of merits. That might be a good thing to add in. And there's always skins. You can always do a whole bunch of cool stuff with skins, like with all kinds of different holidays and things like that. It was also a good one.
Yeah, talking about the Glint store, one of the things that I've talked about too, you talked about in like adding items for vouchers. One of the things I would love to see in the Glint shop would be some sort of item that's like a 24-hour rotating item, whether it's a card or some kind of special skin or maybe avatar upgrade or something like that, where it kind of makes you every day want to log in just to see. It's like, oh, what new thing is in the Glint store today? Because it's only going to be there for 24 hours, and then the next day is going to be something new. So then you're going to be kind of forced to, okay, do I want to spend all my Glint on this cool item because I know it's only going to be there for 24 hours, or do I want to save it because tomorrow might be something cooler? So I think that would add a little bit of excitement too.
That's a good call.
That's
I like
a good
that.
idea. I like that. It's a good one.
That's going to make it real tough to spin Glint. I'm already struggling.
Struggling,
Right.
Keegs. I think I've sent 6 or 7 million Glint into the freaking furnace this season, and that's I went 5 batches deep on the ultimates chasing skins before the cards were turned over, so I paid a cheaper price there. Man,
Did you
I'm
get any?
struggling to. I got some spookies. I didn't get any of the haunteds, but yeah, I'm happy. I got some cool ones. I got giraffe. I got
Jangles,
Lurkus.
I bought a haunted off of Play for
Oh,
$60.
you dog. The haunteds are so
Dragon.
cool, man. Yeah, those skins are badass. Yeah, I'm happy though. The spookies are cool enough. Of course, I would have
Yeah.
loved to have landed a haunted, but ultimately, I'm stoked that the appetite was as big as it was, and yeah, good stuff.
But gathering, that's going to become a thing. Like if you noticed, it's already happening now with the fortune draws, and now we have the skins, and we got Thanksgiving coming up and Christmas, so we're going to have skins for those, and it's just going to be an ongoing thing. And in regards to that, you can do all kinds of fun stuff. And again, the auctions are super entertaining. And I think we can do some low level auctions too, where it's just like a spooky skin, but it's limited and there's only 10 of them, right? And there's a little cycle of auctions that's happening, and it could be even in Glint too in some situations. So yeah, it's a lot of work on Harry's side for sure, but I think we're building the tools, and this is the hard part is getting getting the first ones in is the hard part, and then after that it's usually a little easier from the coding standpoint.
Yeah, the fortune draws are so much fun for me to make content on. That they're not really long videos, but I really look forward to like every Monday morning and now every Friday morning, not just to check my accounts, but to check the winners list, because I know a lot of the other members and I know their account names and their usernames. So it's always fun to just go through that list and go, hey, I know that person. Hey, they won this card, or our Faded Glory, he pulled a card, or I had a guildmate, Snowboarder Pete, he pulled a card. So it's fun not just to see if you won, but to see if your friends won as well. So it's a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, Jangles pulled one. He pulled a good one too.
Yep, Jangles did. Yep.
Baby Slade. Yep. I'm trying to get another one this week too. I think I got 600 something draws right now.
Whoa.
And that's one thing I want to. That's one thing I want to tell people too, is don't get discouraged if you know that there's people that get like 600, 700, 800 draws. Because here's the thing. Yes, they may have 800 draws, but as soon as they win a card, those 800 draws go out. And that it really increases your odds of winning. So don't think that, hey, I only have 20 entries or 30 or 40. I see people on the winners list, like in Frontier, that have 3 entries or 8 or 10. I think there was someone for the first modern one last week that only had a handful of entries and they pulled a card. So don't think that, hey, I'm not like me. I play in bronze and silver. So don't think, hey, I've only got 20 entries. I don't have any chance. You've got a slim chance, but you definitely have one, and it may not be as bad as you think. And it really doesn't cost hardly anything, to take part and to have a chance to win, an awesome prize. So like, I would encourage people, spend the 125 BEC, you never know. And the upside is so awesome if you do hit one of those super limited cards.
Yeah, great call out, man. I think we've talked about it on various streams. The winners, we saw it with the black foil, or the black foil, gold foil, arcane pickles. Some of those draws went to folks with just a handful of submissions, and it's so good for just parity across everything. You don't win everything just by having massive volume, which is great. Good call.
I mean, it costs you $4 right now. If you go and buy the deck, you can get all 53 weeks for $4.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was super happy to see the accessibility factor with the cost of entering the raffle. It's not nothing, but it's such a small amount that it's like it's way worth it. And we're burning a ton of DEC as a result. So it's really hitting that sweet spot, I think is one of one of those missing pieces that we're starting to see come into place that helps propel us into the stratosphere.
And one of the things about that mode too, or that mechanic, um, people now need to play and pay attention to how many matches they win, right? So before you just played and you got a little more glint, a little more SPS, and maybe you didn't really care that much. You were a little busy, so you left, after a handful of matches. But now you want to get as many raffle tickets as you can, and people are. I see a ton of people that have 5 wins or 10 wins, and very rarely do you see somebody with 12 wins and 13 wins and stop, right? Like they want to keep going to get what they need, and that's part of the enjoyment.
Oh, it's such a powerful mechanic to see that you're out of energy, but you're 2 wins away from those next 20 draws. Well, guess what you're doing? You're going to the reward shop and spinning glints or DEC to get a couple more energy to play. And yeah, it's a sweet mechanic. I would love to see a leaderboard on how many draws folks have. If I could go like, I would want to compete with, Blaze and Jimmy on the modern leaderboard to see, I want more draws than both of these guys. There's competition and everything. I think, we all want to win, and I think if we can get any sort of edge or find any way to get motivation, numbers are a powerful thing. So
Speaking of which, people are compelled to be on a leaderboard and all that, and they focus, and then we have, the disappointment when they don't win because there is 78 prizes, right? So not every single person can win. So, what do you guys think about the unlucky long shot card? Did you guys see that being discussed out by Clay and the community like a couple days ago?
Love it.
You mean the
hairy bucket? Yeah, I love it.
Harry Bucket. That is a great graphic.
That does feel pretty unlucky. That's no shade on you there, Gator, but yeah, the hairy bucket doesn't feel like the best prize in the game, but it's so fun. And I think it goes with the, whether it's unlucky long shot or hairy bucket, I think it goes right with the pickle. It's just fun, and it gets us towards the, like it's a game. Like we shouldn't be taking ourselves so seriously. I like the idea of these goofy mechanics and cards and lore coming into the game.
Why don't you summarize what the concept was in case somebody's listening to your show and they didn't see the chat?
So I think it's for folks who submit fortune draws and they do not get a card. You then fall into a second tier raffle for unlucky long shot, which goes to the, it's a consolation prize for those that did not win a black foil or an arcane. Did I get the gist there? Is that right?
I think at least from what I could tell, what seemed to be more prevalent was instead of a second raffle, just you get a certain number of like you didn't win, so therefore how many draws did you have? If you had 500 draws and you didn't win, now you have 500 draws. Maybe every 1,000 draws you get an unlucky long shot card. So it encourages
nice.
people to keep doing more draws, and even if they don't win, then it's adding.
You're working towards it.
It's right. They're working towards getting that card at least.
The pity timer, for lack of a better word. Yeah, that's a sweet mechanic. I missed that one, but yeah, I love it even more. Yeah, it's great.
I know Blaze has something along those same lines on a leaderboard. Blaze, you want to throw out your idea? Not in addition to that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, going with the leaderboard, like, it's going to play for Arcana Pack, so we had the leaderboard and just do it in the way that, um, as soon as you win, you're knocked off that leaderboard. But we have to, figure out what path we want to take. But um, having the leaderboard approach is going to be entertaining because everybody's going to be able to see the leaderboard and see what cards they're going to get on the leaderboard. So
Blaze's number one, I think it's what 2 a.m. now, Blaze. So over there, but his idea was that we have a leaderboard to see who was the most unlucky for the whole time, and at the very end they get like really cool cards, like a black foil unlucky type thing.
And a title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
and a title
remember
or
seeing that
something
on
like-
Discord. I thought that was such a cool idea. Who's the unluckiest person in Splinterlands that can go
Yeah.
the longest without winning? And it's
Right.
like you almost don't want to win because as soon as you win, you're off the leaderboard. It's like, crap, I could have got that title, but now I won.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we were also talking about a title, weren't we, Blaze?
yeah, we were coming up with a couple names. I just don't have them on the top of my head.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
What was it? Unlucky Sirlot or something like that. You had a fun one that came up.
Yeah,
But yeah, we're working on things. Real quick, Pickle is the leading skin, 806 purchased. So Yablis Pickle is a very popular skin,
It's probably all the fizz.
right?
Who's buying all the pickles? Because if you
Clay
notice the
too,
pickle price
Clay.
has been going up, wasn't it down to like 5 or 6 cents? And I think last week it was like 10 cents. So someone's buying and pushing up the pickle price.
Jangles. pickles.
These were
It could
from my personal stash. Yeah, it is almost 10
Could
cents.
be-
Jeez.
Could be Clay. Clay's a big pickle aficionado. You have the black foil auction coming up here in a couple days. I don't know. Is anybody gonna pay attention to that?
The got him black foil.
Got him black foil arcane 101. First
Yeah,
101
yeah, that-
ever auction.
Ooh.
The black
Yeah,
foil
what's it
still
going
has not
for?
been pulled yet.
We don't
We
know.
still
It
don't even
hasn't
have a
started.
regular black foil.
Still, there hasn't been one.
Nope.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, I mean that's one of Dave, honestly, that's one of those things that it's completely off my radar, and it kind of sucks that I haven't been paying attention to that, but that's such a good side effect of so much other stuff going on that I completely forgot. But yeah, I'm looking at it now. 2 days, starts in 2 days, 2.5
Yep.
days. Yeah.
And how long does it run for?
1 day.
1 day. All right. What's your guesses as to how much that sells for?
Yeah, that was it. I was gonna ask that exact question.
Does that have the new auction mechanic where
Yes.
someone bids to 5 minute thing
Yes.
again for that one too?
Yep.
You have an hour of 5-minute extensions.
And
And
it
then
works
at the
well.
end of
I
that-
won the number one pickle, and it was quite entertaining. And you hope that the other person has to go to the bathroom or something, and they're on their desktop, or and it take a little longer than 5 minutes, and then you clinch the win.
Did that reach
How-
have any of them reached an hour yet?
Yeah. No, there was only one. It was the pickle was the first one that used this method, and it went about, I think, about 30 minutes in.
Okay. So this one coming up might have a shot to make it the full hour.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
only one of
Yeah.
one. I would think it
It
probably will.
depends, right? If one whale comes in and just, makes it where it's out of reach, that'll kill the fun. But
I don't think they
yeah,
will. Honestly, everybody's a competitor. I think they're gonna try to get it cheap unless Matt comes in and does like 5,000 tickets or something, but I doubt it.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
What
I
did
think
you
auction
end
marks are
up?
going to go up in value.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
What
too.
did you end up dropping on the pickle, Blaze? Just for some context.
88.
88 auction marks.
I believe so.
And they're going.
What's that
Does
translate
that sound
to?
low? It was about
That sounds-
$250.
Yeah, that's low. It was probably
That's not bad.
Probably
not too great.
188 or 100 and I don't know.
Yeah. No.
Not a lot in the market. The lowest is
88
170.
No, that's
only
right.
like $140.
$260, like $3 a pop. What are they at now?
Buck
Auction one-
73 is the
173.
low.
173.
They're
Yeah,
cheap.
but
Okay.
there's not very
There's
many
not
under
that many.
$2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a lot under 2. Yeah.
They'll be above 2 very, very quickly.
I don't know. Couple
How many you think
$1,000,
it'd
I
go
would
for?
say.
500 maybe.
Do you think it'd go for like a grand?
I think 2.
One of
That
one.
seems reasonable.
I think
Seems
2
reasonable.
grand. I'm gonna say 2 grand.
2,500.
Think it-
2,500.
It'll go for more than a grand, I think, because I'll do a grand if it's a grand, for sure. Assuming I can
25.
source the tickets.
Ask
Let's see.
Vuctus how much it's going to go for.
Did you see? Bug just bought 100 gold foil raffle tickets, which is awesome, by the way. That it's good in the sense that number one, he felt compelled to try to get it, which is great. And then number two, it's also good that while he had the more than 50% chance of winning, somebody with 3 raffle tickets actually won. So, it shows it's everybody's got a chance kind of thing, which I think is big when it comes to the raffles.
Real quick, I think it was 179 for the pickle because the mint number 2 was 151. So that's more along the lines.
Yeah.
It's like 350, $360.
All right. So at
Yeah.
$1,000, well, it would, if it's only $1,000, would any of you guys participate?
No, I'm
No,
buying
no,
I'm
not
buying
me.
wild cards and go for reward cards.
You also have to factor in that I'm looking at Beaker's land tool here. It's 2,561 DEC to craft 1 auction mark.
Yeah,
What was that,
I'm
like
too busy.
$1.75 or something?
Yeah, so like that could factor in a little bit.
Yeah, that I'm too busy trying to chase land cards and trying to beat Jeff to some cards as well. That guy is quick in his spending.
It's
Yeah.
not his hands that are operating the market. Probably he's got the Oompa Loompas in front of their computers, dude.
I was
Yeah,
pricing out
slaves.
the land cards for the spec sheet and going over some preliminary numbers. I mean, the amount of resources, I don't think anybody's prepared for the land cards, to be quite honest. In other words, like everybody's like, "Yay, land cards! It's going to be cool. I'll be able to use my resources to buy them."
Yeah,
But
sounds
then when
expensive.
you see, well, I mean, it's not going to be. I mean, think about it. You're going to need extra resources, and almost everybody, I think, takes their extra resources and either sells them or turns them into SPS or Aura or research. So I there's not a lot of slack in the system, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I think it'd actually be pretty interesting how that all works out.
I'm curious to see how that mechanic works for crafting the land cards, whether it's like, you go to craft it and it's kind of like a card pack where you only craft like one card and it's got like an 80% chance of being common, 20% chance of rare, that type of thing, where you can't pick the card you want. I think that's pretty much a given. So you can't just say, oh, I'm going to make a common land card or I'm going to make a legendary land card. So yeah, I've been trying to save up as many resources to get as many chances of creating these cards as I can. But I don't have a lot of land, but yeah, I've been trying to stockpile what little bit I do have, either for the land cards or for, like I said, when we get to the point where the permanent buildings can be built. So, but yeah, I think most people, like you said, are just spending the resources they have now and not planning ahead.
Right, even me, and I'm the one that making the thing. Like I looked at it and said, man, I don't have enough extra, resources for this. But to correct you on one thing, Gathering, down the road, what you said will be a thing on the first. This is like a proof of concept. People are going to be able to buy the specific card they want.
Oh, okay, cool.
So if you want the common, you can just buy the common. If you want the epic, you can buy the epic. The only issue is going to be whether you have aura or not. If you don't have aura, you'll be limited to the common and the rare. And if you have the aura, you'll also be able to get the epics and legendary.
Now, will it be similar to regular cards in game where like you need 400 copies of a land common to max it?
Yes.
Wow, I was wondering about that. Okay.
Yep. Yep. The leveling schedule will be the same.
Oh man. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hardcore.
Now I really am going to save all my land resources.
And what happens is you don't have to have a card at max for it to have value. So for
Mhm.
instance, a level 3 card, which a common may cost you essentially $7 worth of assets, resources, either sender or the land resources. But for instance, it may give you 5 or 10%, bonus plus a power core. So,
Mhm.
things like that are also at play in the game.
And that's another thing I think people, even the ones like me that are, kind of hanging on to their land resources, I don't know if there's a lot of people that have been thinking about the whole Cinder aspect as well. Like, how many cards are you going to want to pick up? A lot of the older cheap cards that you're going to want to burn for Cinder to craft these as well. So, yeah, I can't wait to see all those details come out.
Yep. So
What's the mechanic to get the card? Like, how do we get the card?
you're going to craft it on your, there'll be a crafting, how we have the crafting station, you'll have a crafting station for cards. So right now there's a crafting station for like the raffle tickets, the auction marks, the black foil potions, and then there'll be just a new tab and it will say cards, and then there will be 4 cards. You can pick which one you want to craft.
Just try to
Sounds
craft
like
them as
items
fast as
and
possible.
spells is right around the corner.
Well, that's a whole different that we have to get the mechanic in the game. So that's a much bigger lift. If that makes sense.
Wasn't there something where there was going to be a window or something?
Yeah. There will be a initial allocation given to people based on their production power. So if you on your base production power, so and I use this example, like if you're 1/10 of 1% of all the base production power, then you'll get 1/10 of 1% allocation of each of the rarities. So you'll be able to get whatever that may mean. Like depending on, let's say you have X amount of production power that may give you, 20 commons if you want, right? And then you have anywhere from a day to a few days to like actually do it. And then after the allocation period is over, then it's first come, first serve. So everybody has a chance, a legitimate chance to get their fair share, basically.
Okay.
More stuff for more choices, man. It's good.
Yeah, I think we definitely have a lot of things going on. And I know like you guys were just talking about the Gotham Black Foil Arcane, and I heard a couple mentions that, hey, I'm focused on this or I'm focused on that. I mean, that's kind of where we want to be, if you think about it. Like, not everybody has to have everything. So the idea is to create enough things that people really want a lot of different things, and then it's just a matter of, getting more people in with more money, because we're obviously making things that people want, or at least that's the goal.
There was about $12,000 worth of fortune draws that were spent for the gold foil arcanes of Gotham. So just shows like that's just one of many things happening.
Whoa, that's amazing. And there were 5 draws, right?
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, those are going pretty consistently, all of them, all the pickles, if you added up all the pickle draws, that added up quite a bit too.
Wasn't it like the tickets that won them were like 1 ticket, 3 tickets, 1 ticket, 1 ticket, something like that?
Yep.
Forgot them.
Yep. Yeah, that's
awesome.
what I'm saying. That was really cool. I mean, some people went in and, did 10 or 20, and even Bug just did 100, which I mean, I think more power to everybody who, plays it however they want to play it. But at the end of the day, it's luck, right? So however it works out, whoever plays it, however they play it, it's like strategic. I
I
didn't
think it's
win.
such a great card that I'm tempted to get give one more stab at the black foil since it hasn't been pulled yet. It's got to be around the corner.
It's just
Right,
one
Gator?
single black foil. That's
There's
it.
none yet. Oh, you're talking about the auction? Yeah, the auction is a 101, Jimmy.
No, no, not
Yeah,
the
no,
auction, just black foil pulls forgot him. It
more
could be
than
like as
likely
many
there's
as people.
yeah, more than likely there's going to be one of those and maybe two at most. And the Black Foil Arcane at 101. So that's just such a great card. It's going to be played for years. It's just a great card to pick up if you haven't got one already. Even a single BCX is cool. So grab a copy if you haven't got one yet. You're listening.
Whoever wins that black foil arcane one's going to want there to be zero of the black foil, regular black foil ones.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be cool.
I would say at least $1,600. That'd be dollar wise. That's where I think it's gonna fall.
My guess is all these big voucher holders, if there isn't one pulled by the time it's going out, I would imagine they would start doing massive amounts just to try to get the black foil because they would get the only one.
Yep, I can see that.
It's not like it's been performing poorly, right? Like sales
It's at
have been
1.5
continuing to stream
million.
in, right? And we're
Yeah,
just
I
over halfway. Is that right?
think we're a little over halfway. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Does
We
it
still
say
haven't seen
when
a
it
black
when it
foil.
closes?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't say when
I
it
think
opened either.
November 20.
Talking the Gotham sale in general.
Yeah, we probably should put the from and to dates on that.
Yeah, we should add that.
So
We
had
started on
the-
September
the
23rd, so I
two
think it was
closer to the end usually because it's usually we figure out the date closer to the end because it's a ballpark 3 months. Depends when we do the updates.
Gotcha.
But
Well,
it's gonna be
we
And the
can
next
still
one
easily
will
put
know.
a start date on there, right? So everybody can kind of ballpark
September
we're coming
23rd.
up on September 23rd. So shit, we're not even halfway yet. We're at 5 weeks.
mid-December, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Christmas. Just in
That's a
time
big
for
Christmas.
Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us, baby. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotham
it
is
should get
great,
up there
man.
with Keelan Gaines. It might give Keelan Gaines a run for its money.
Yeah, he really shines at silver for the lower leagues. Getting flank is huge.
Ooh, I might need to get a little extra one for my silver account. You reminded me now.
Yeah, he's
Dang.
nasty, man.
If you got the vouchers, go
Dang.
for it, man.
I don't yet. I'm still working on enough to get my max copy. I'm pretty close. I've been buying a card at a time.
Dude, you got to take a gamble on the official mints from the shop. Get that black foil, man.
I did the gamble on the gold foil arcane. I bought a ticket or two. I kept forgetting it was so quick. It was 5 days. And I was like, oh crap. Right at the end, I got in on the last one or two or something. But yeah. Black foil. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be auction or no, I'm definitely not gonna be bidding. I'm not gonna even come close. So
Yeah, I just mean purchase the one single BCX from the exclusive shop. You get a
oh
chance
yeah,
at a
no, I've
black
been
foil
doing
there. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I've been doing. Yep, one at a time. And that I have to get one for my silver account too. Now that I'm
Just
thinking
tried.
about it.
No luck.
You just tried no luck. Well, we had it's
I'm
crazy
gonna
because
try right now.
we had there's 8 black foils of Drakamoto, and I feel like we hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the first like 3 or 4 days. And here we
we
are
tweaked the
5
math
weeks.
a little bit.
Yeah, I figured.
I just bought one. No dice.
Oh, that much closer. That ticker is
Closer.
getting close.
I'm doing
All right,
better.
everybody.
I'm doing two.
Let's wrap this sucker up. So 150 in the bag. Thank you for
Bam.
everybody for hopping on. A lot of fun. Covered a lot of ground here. Paul's first time on the show. It's been a while since we hosted Gator. Keegs back for round two here, a couple months
Thanks
at
for
a
loading
time.
in.
Dave's return, Gathering's return, Blaze's return. Appreciate all you guys taking time to hop on. It's People's Guild wouldn't be the People's Guild without guys, that are
The
fun to hang
people.
out with. And yeah, the people. It's all about the people. So appreciate you guys and thank you for
like
taking time out of your day to hop on and hang out.
Yeah,
It's like
I
Soylent
want
Green.
I want to say thanks to you guys too, Jangles and Jimmy, and you guys have been providing the service 150 episodes. I mean, that's a big damn deal. So thank you for all the conversations, all the information that you've helped to spread. I mean, it's really cool that you guys take your time and do this, on your own time without getting paid, just to support the community. So hat tip to you. 150 episodes is a big deal.
And anyone that's listening to this that hasn't subscribed to their channel, definitely go subscribe. They should be at least 1,000 plus subscribers. So definitely check them out and show them some love and subscribe.
Yeah,
Thanks,
congrats,
guys.
Jingles.
Yeah,
Good stuff,
congrats on
gentlemen.
150. Congrats on 150. Y'all should be proud of
Yeah,
yourself.
that's
This is awesome.
Jangles,
This
man.
is awesome.
Yep, credit where credit's due. That's Jangles. I'm just hanging on for the last little bit here, man. He's the driving force of this thing.
Ted, Jimmy, do you have a clock on how many episodes you're in?
Probably like 6 or 7 by now, maybe even
All
8 or
right.
9. I don't know. Getting up there.
It's the whole year. It's the whole year. Jimmy's
count.
got the
Yeah.
baton. Yeah.
I can't wait till we hit 1,000. That's going to be a fun show.
Be
That
2030.
will be a fun. We're gonna have some explosions by then, and I hope that I'll be able to give away mustache skins on our 1,000th episode.
Jimmy, we're
Shit,
actually you come up quite often in the avatars when we talk about what our premium mustaches look like. So we're
He's
definitely,
like, handle this, handle that, Jimmy.
Well, if you want some professional input, shoot me a DM. I'll design some mustaches for specific characters because there's so many different ones. Little pencil thin for the right guy. You want the Derek Smalls handlebar that goes all the way down. I mean, you want the Civil War era giant bushy mustache.
Yeah.
Different character, different ideal mustaches. Paul, what's your mustache look like? We've never seen it. You never.
It's just a
on
regular.
video.
I tried to put the camera on, but it wasn't working. It's my first time on Zoom on this, I guess. But I just have like a mustache goatee type thing, all combined.
Nice.
I was gonna say for mustaches, just check out Tombstone. All kinds of great mustaches in that movie.
That is true. Val Kilmer's got a great mustache in that one.
I think Jangles and I are the only two non-mustache people here.
I don't have a
Gator.
mustache.
Has one, right?
Wife won't allow it.
Oh yeah,
I got the 5 o'clock shadow. We got Gator in the clean
that's
shaven
true.
crew.
I forgot about Gator. Yep.
Yeah, borderline. If I don't shave on a regular basis, it starts to get.
I will say that Keegs has the fluffiest beard I've seen in Splinterlands so far. So he's definitely got the fluffy beard. We need to maybe make a card called the Fluffy Beard one day.
I'm
Rick
still waiting for the
Waterman's
Jimmy
beard,
mustache
the
card. We
fluffy
got
beard.
a pickle card. We need a Jimmy mustache card.
It's so fluffy.
We do need a mustache card.
It trumps anything Jimmy has come up with, man. I mean,
There it is.
a full
Look at
beard.
that. There it is. It's taken. Well, God, that's what 3 feet long at this point. It's got to be 1.5 feet. It's got to be like 15, 16 inches right there. Rick Lauderman.
Oh shit! Wouldn't be the People's Guild without some facial hair banter.
The facial hair without the people.
I really thought Walken was going to show up this time. Jimmy Walken.
Who are you talking about, Dave? That's crazy. I don't even know what you mean. He hasn't shown up in a long time, so I guess it is time to show up. That's crazy.
All right, everybody. We will catch you guys next week. Stay tuned for the People's Guild tournament for episode 150. Catch Blaze and I running the inaugural Splinterlands tournament live stream, shit talk, hangout, you name it. It should be fun. Hopefully, yeah, keep your eyes out for the tournament details. Hopefully, we could get that up and running the next couple of weeks. Like I said, lots of cool prizes to give away. To thank everybody for their support over the years now, 3.5 years. Holy shit. But yeah, absolute pleasure hosting all of you gentlemen. Appreciate you guys again for not only what you're doing here on this episode, taking your time, but what you guys do for the community. As individuals, you guys are awesome, and we wouldn't be here without each and every one of you guys. So without further ado, enjoy the show. We'll catch you guys next week. You have been listening to
The People's
Is it
Guild.
who's there? It's the People's Guild. God damn it! Yeah.
Hell is the hollow, a name to fear. Oh yeah. Once a hero.